Hello friends, welcome to Crick Talks. As you might have seen in the thumbnail of this video, imagine a scenario like this during the tough times of Corona. Imagine tomorrow India plays Australia. The first test begins at Adelaide Oval. This is an absolute treat for you being a die-hard cricket fan, missing all the cricket action these days. But this doesn't stop right here. You see the schedule and you are bemused to know that on the same day at night, Team India plays a T20 international match against England at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Wow, sounds crazy? How is it possible? Does the team take a supersonic jet from Australia to reach Mumbai? Sounds unlikely. Then, how is it possible? This is what is being contemplated by BCCI according to the latest reports, as some of you might have read. But how? The plan is to have two different teams, one for test and the other for the limited overs format. Will you accept this kind of a scenario? Is this idea worth considering? Well, you have the answer from history. This is in the year 2017. Two different Australian teams are playing at two different countries. One, under the captaincy of Aaron Finch, a T20 international, is played against Sri Lanka at the Adelaide on 22nd February 2017. In this match, Australia defeated Sri Lanka by 41 runs. Within a few hours, on 23rd February 2017, the other Australian team played the first match of the Border Gavaskar Trophy against India at Pune. This team was captained by Steve Smith. In this test match too, Australia defeated India by a mammoth 333 runs. Both the Australian teams featured were completely different. What can we learn from this? Two different Australian teams playing at two different continents under two different captains won their respective matches, which were literally on the same day. Can India try this model? This is what the BCCI is exactly thinking now. Will it be interesting? In such a scenario, we have to make two different teams to play the test and the limited overs format simultaneously. Sounds interesting, right? Or is it? Maybe you are wondering that how can that be possible? It's too difficult to pick two different squads that are good enough to play top teams. But actually it's not that difficult as it might seem on the surface. Only a few players are now playing both the formats on a consistent basis. Now let us see how. While doing this activity, one thing is to be kept in mind. That is to optimize both the squads for the two extreme challenges. Okay, the first big question. In which format does Virat Kohli play? I would say it would be the test. It's simply because of the fact that T20s and ODIs are nowadays increasingly being played on flat wickets and the absence of him will be least felt in this case. Test is also the purest form of the game and you need your best players there. So this might how the team might look like. The two openers can be Prithvi Shaw and Mayank Agarwal. Prithvi Shaw, though has only played 4 matches, has scored 335 runs at an average of 56. This young prodigy is tipped by many to be the next Sachin Tendulkar. Mayank Agarwal, as we all know, has played some brilliant innings in the recent past at the top, like the 243 against Bangladesh. Now, for the following players, I don't think we need to look at the numbers. At 3, we have the new ward, Cheteshwar Pujara. At 4, Virat Kohli. At 5, the current Test Vice Captain Ajinkya Rahane. At 6, Wriddhiman Saha plays as the first choice wicketkeeper. At 7, Hanuman Vihari. At 8, the joint fastest bowler to 350 wickets, Ravichandran Ashwin. Then we can have 3 pacers in the form of Mohammad Shami, the wicket taker as the experts say. Then Ishant Sharma, who has lot of experience. And at last, to round off, we have the spearhead Jasprit Bumrah. Now, the possible substitutes can be the leg spinner Kuldeep Yadav, Umesh Yadav, both of whom can play if an extra bowler is needed. Then, as a backup wicketkeeper, the explosive Rishabh Pant. The last lot can be given to a youngster like Shubman Gill. There you go, that's the test squad. Now let us have a look at the limited over side. So this is where it gets interesting. To open the innings, we have the tested pair Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma, which also brings in a nice left-right combination. At 3, we have KL Rahul, followed by Shreyas Iyer at 4. Yes, at last maybe the debate about number 4 is put to rest. Anyway, in the limited overs format, there is no particular fixed batting order. It is the situation that dictates the batting order. At 5, we have Captain Cool MS Dhoni. This is done assuming that Dhoni will be available for selection. At 6, for the time being, we keep Kedar Jadhav, though there are many options available which we will discuss later. At 7 and 8, Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja coming in would be deadly, both multi-utility all-rounders. At 9, Chahal is proving day by day to be a more and more challenging bowler in limited overs format. Then we can finish off with 2 pace bowlers, Deepak Chahar and 2-time purple cap holder in IPL, Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Now we have many potential substitutes. Firstly, as a backup wicketkeeper, we may have Dinesh Karthik or Sanju Samson. Though we have seen in the recent past, KL Rahul is being considered as a wicketkeeper. So even if Dhoni is unavailable, he might keep the wickets. In the place of Kedar Jadhav, Krunal Pandya, Rahul Chahar, Washington Sundar and 3D player Vijay Shankar can be considered. A few other players who might be looking for their opportunity are Suresh Raina, Ambati Rayudu, Khalil Ahmed, Ishan Kishan. And at last, we have also seen the Indian team management keeping faith on Shivam Dube. So there you go, we have managed to pick quite a competitive squad. But still, there are many good players waiting to get a chance, even if India fielded 2 teams. So definitely BCCI can try this idea. What are your thoughts? Are you up for it? Let me know in the comment section.